I don't know about you, but I have a stubborn streak. You know the kind. This, I've got it kind of energy, like, don't bother me, I'll take care of it, even when that's very much not the case. I can think of one time in particular after college. I was moving from one apartment to the other, like a lot of college students do. My parents were helping me, and I was trying to speed up the process, so I grabbed this big, bulky box to haul down the stairs by myself. No help, no second set of hands, and I can picture exactly where I was in this stairwell, about halfway down, when I tripped. I dropped the box, twisted my ankle, and realized this would have been a lot better if I just accepted the help that was already there. Acts 18 reminds us that the mission of Jesus was never meant to be a solo project. When Paul arrives in Corinth, he meets a couple, Priscilla and Aquila. Now, these people, they've been displaced by a political upheaval in Rome. Essentially, they're refugees. And yet, they opened their home to Paul. Why? Well, maybe in part because they shared a trade. The Bible calls them Tentmakers. They likely worked with leather as well. And it was common, actually, for people like Paul, who was a Jewish teacher, to have a trade. He didn't just preach, he worked, he built, he stitched. And he did these things to support himself and to support his ministry. So in that shared work, we see a partnership. I've worked in a church for a long time, and I can tell you, it is not glamorous work. What we read about Paul and about Priscilla and Aquila, it's ordinary. What we know about tent makers, their work was highly relational. But here's what's beautiful. Paul stays in Corinth for a year and a half, 18 months. That tells us something. There's no way around it. Relationships take time. Communities don't somehow magically appear. In verses 9 through 10, the Lord speaks to Paul in another vision. Do not be afraid. Keep on speaking. Do not be silent, for I am with you. You can maybe hear a little bit of the weariness in Paul by this point. He's faced opposition, resistance, he's tired. But notice that God doesn't say, try harder. God says, I'm with you. And Paul stays, not alone, but with his friends, these new partners. Teams are better than solo work. We know this, don't we? And yet, how often are we the ones walking in that stairs trying to carry that big, bulky box alone? We try to shoulder everything. Maybe more seriously, that looks like attempts at working through addiction alone without telling anyone. Carrying financial stress, trying to hold a struggling family together without asking for help. And let's be honest, sometimes, like me, on those stairs, we trip, we fall. Because I know this is true for me, maybe for you, our pride can be heavier than the thing we're actually carrying, right? Acts 18 shows us something simple but powerful. The gospel moves forward through partnership, through shared tables, through shared tools, through courage. Priscilla and Aquila weren't famous preachers. They were faithful co-workers. And their home became part of the story God was writing. Maybe today the question isn't, can you handle it? Maybe it's, who has God already placed around you? Who shares your trade, your struggle, your purpose, your questions? The book of Acts is showing us that the mission of Jesus was never meant to rest on one set of shoulders. Not on Paul's even. Not on yours. Certainly not on mine. Sometimes the bravest thing we can do is set the box down and ask for help.